guys, so today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I plan to read in August for N.E.W.T.s. So N.E.W.T.s is the magical readathon hosted by G from Book Roast, and it's basically inspired by the exams that the Hogwarts students take. I'll link her announcement video down below so you can get all the details because I'm not going to explain it all here, but it's so fun and she puts so much effort into it, so definitely check it out. I'm so excited to be participating. I did miss out on OWLs, which was in April, but I did take them last month because she said if you want to participate in N.E.W.T.s you can just take your OWLs whenever you want, and I passed all the subjects I needed to pass in order to take my N.E.W.T.s. So this is my bullet journal spread. So the career that I'm going for is Hogwarts Professor, teaching charms. So let's just talk about all the books that I plan to read. I do also have some extra books that aren't part of the prompts. I think I need to read 7 books to successfully become Hogwarts Professor, but I do have some extra books that I plan to read this month, so obviously I'll talk about those too. First, I'll start off with the book that I'm currently reading, and that is Frankly in Love by David Yoon, and I really just wanted to read this month because 1, it's a super anticipated release for me, and 2, it's coming out next month, so I wanted to read it before its release. But yeah, so I'm only 50 pages in, but so far I am adoring this. I'm just completely in love at the moment. It basically is own voices for the Korean representation. We follow Frankly, who is Korean American, and he has a crush on a non-Korean girl, which is a problem because his strict parents want him to only date a Korean girl. And his friend Joy Song is in a similar situation, so they end up fake dating because Joy Song is Korean, so they can gain their freedom and date the people they actually want to date. So yeah, I'm so excited to finish this. I'm definitely going to be finishing it soon. So this does come out on the 12th of September. I'm so thankful to have this arc because yeah, like I said 10 times, I'm loving this. So the first subject I need to take is charms, and because I want to teach charms I need to get an outstanding in charms. So first I need to read a book that I think has a gorgeous cover. So I'm going to be reading The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton, and I have been meaning to read this for so long and I'm so happy I'm finally reading it. This is our August Books with Friends pick, so if you want to join us and discuss it in our live show on the 24th of August at 6 PM Eastern Time on my channel, then feel free. We also have some amazing guest hosts this month. We have Jamie from Leo Reads, Isabella from Thane of Pages, and Jacob from Alchemy Reads. So it's going to be a fun live show, but this is basically YA magical realism, and it follows Ava Lavender, who was born with these big beautiful wings and no one really knows why. And that's all I really know about the story. I don't really want to know too much because it's magical realism and I like to go into those stories not knowing much, but I've heard that the writing is lyrical and whimsical, and that is just exactly my type of writing that I love. Everyone says I'm going to love this, so I think I am, and I really can't wait. I am thinking about picking up the audiobook. If you have listened to the audiobook, please let me know if you recommend it. Then I need to read a comic slash graphic novel slash manga, and for that I'm going to be reading Fence Volume 3, and this isn't out yet. This actually comes out later this month, but I've been really highly anticipating this because I read Fence Volume 1 in January and I just read Fence Volume 2 in July, and I just love this series. It's basically a graphic novel series following these boys at a boarding school, and it obviously involves fencing, and I just love the characters and there's a lot of representation and it's just so good. So yeah, I can't wait to read the 3rd volume. I think it's gonna be everything. The next prompt is Spongify, Softening Charm, so I need to read a paperback book. So for this I'm going to be reading Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky, and I got this arc at Book Expo. I'm so excited. It basically is adult horror following Kate and her 7-year-old son Christopher, and Christopher ends up disappearing for 6 days, and when he comes back he's not the same, and he has a voice in his head that only he can hear, and that just sounds so intriguing. This one is super intimidating though because it is like 700 pages and the font is really small, but I am so excited. Obviously Stephen Chbosky is the author of The Perks of Being a Wallflower, one of my favourite books. I've heard that if you like perks you're probably going to love this, which is super interesting because they're obviously so different. But I was actually looking at this before and it's actually blurbed by Emma Watson, which is so cool, and she said, like The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Imaginary Friend says that no matter how dark the places you have been or the things you have seen, no one and nothing and nowhere is beyond redemption. I just can't wait to read this, and I actually am going to be buddy reading this with Kaz from Little Book Owl, so that should be heaps of fun. This is the biggest book on my TBR, so wish me luck, but I think I can do it because I'm really excited. Oh, and this comes out on the 1st of October. Okay, so the next subject I need to take is Defense Against the Dark Arts. So I need to get Exceeds Expectations. So the first prompt is a book that's black under the dust jacket. For that I'm going to be reading Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This is mostly purple under the dust jacket, but it does have black, so I mean I'm counting it. I was actually struggling trying to find a book for this prompt, even though I have so many books that are black under the dust jacket. None of the books that I wanted to read in the immediate future were black under the dust jacket, which is so weird to me. But yeah, so I'm going with this. This is a YA contemporary, and I have read Christina Lauren's new adult books, so I'm so excited to read their young adult book. I've heard so many good things about this. It basically follows Tanner, who is bisexual, and he moves from California to Utah and is sort of forced back into the closet once he realizes people aren't as accepting. And then it also follows a romance between Tanner and a boy who is Mormon. And I've never really read a book that tackles religion and sexuality, so I'm really interested to read this, and I've heard that it's done in a super respectful way, and it just has so many amazing reviews, so I'm really excited. Then I need to read the first book that I remembered from my TBR, and when I was putting together my TBR, the first book that I thought of was Waiting for Spring Volume 5, and that's because I've been reading this manga series. I've been meaning to pick up the next volume for months, so I'm finally going to be reading the next volume in August, and this is just such a fun manga series. It's basically a shoujo manga, has super cute characters and a super cute romance brewing, and it involves basketball, which I love, so it's just heaps of fun, and I can't wait to read the next volume. Okay, so the next subject is History of Magic, and for that I need to read a fantasy. So for that prompt I chose Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron, and this comes out on the 19th of September. I'm so thankful to HarperCollins for sending me this arc. I'm so excited to read it. It's basically a West African inspired fantasy following Ara, who is a part of a family of powerful witch doctors, but Ara doesn't have any magic for herself, so she ends up going into this dangerous bargain and trades years of her life for some power. And I've already seen so many amazing reviews. I'm so excited to read this. It's honestly, like, I think it's going to be everything, and this is actually one of the books I'm planning to pick up next after Frankly in Love, I think. And I didn't mention, but I am planning to do weekly reading vlogs for N.E.W.T.s, so if you want to see my thoughts on all these books, then keep your eyes out for that. But yeah, so I'm hopefully going to be picking this up this week. I'm so excited. I hope it's everything. It also involves blood magic, which I always find fascinating, but obviously if that's something that you're not into, just keep that in mind. But yes, so the next subject is Transfiguration, and I need to read a book with LGBTQIA+ representation. So for that I'm going to be reading Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, and this is an arc from Tor.com, and this does come out in September. So this is a sci-fi fantasy, and it follows lesbian necromancers in space. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my voice. And Melanie from Mel to the N.E. absolutely loved this book. It's her favourite book of the year, so she's made me super hyped for it. I already have my Mel to the N.E. bookmark ready to use for this book. But yes, so I am just so excited to read this. I just love the tagline as well. It says, "The most fun you'll ever have with a skeleton." So yeah, that's the last book that I need to read for N.E.W.T.s, but I wanted to mention a few other books that I hope to read in August. So I really hope I'll have time to also pick up Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maharan. I got this arc at Book Expo and it comes out next month, and I would love to read it before its release. I don't know if I'll have time because I do have a lot of books in my TBR already, but I really hope I can because I'm so excited for this. It's basically about a forced marriage between a witch and a witch hunter, and it's set in 17th century France, and the characters are supposed to be amazing. I've seen so many amazing reviews and I'm just so pumped for it. So yeah, I hope I can read this as well. I also hope I can read King of Scars by Levi Dugo because I did read Crooked Kingdom 2 months ago, so I would love to continue. Not that it's part of the series, but it's the next book to read. So I was thinking of picking up the audiobook for that. I'm not as excited for that one. I just don't know how I'm going to feel about it, especially because I'm not a huge fan of the Grisha trilogy. So I don't know, I'm just kind of scared, but hopefully I can also pick that up on audio. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are all the books that I plan to read in August. Hopefully I can read them all, and hopefully I can vlog my experience throughout. So in the description I'll have all the books that I've mentioned linked down below. I'll also have G's N.E.W.T.s announcement and the live view details for The Strange and Beautiful Stories of Opal Lavender. That is such a mouthful to say. But yeah, if you're participating in N.E.W.T.s, I would love to know what books you're planning to read and what career you're trying to go for. And I really hope I can be successful in becoming a Hogwarts professor. What a dream. But yeah, so that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're having a good day or night, and I'll see you in my next one.